Are you seeking a path to inner peace and fulfillment? In this video, we delve into the teachings of Buddhism to present you with a transformative guide on designing the life you want. Lesson 1. Design Thinking. Buddhism teaches that life is impermanent. Change happens all the time. The path to happiness is not about resisting change. It is about flowing with it. The mind is the creator of everything. Thoughts shape reality. If one learns to shape their thoughts, they can shape their life. Design thinking is about creating a life with purpose. It is about seeing possibilities instead of problems. In Buddhism, the mind is like a garden. If it is not cared for, weeds will grow. Negative thoughts will take over. But if it is tended to with care, flowers will bloom. Life will become beautiful. The first step is awareness. One must see their life as it is. Observe without judgment. Understand the patterns that shape daily experiences. Buddhist meditation helps with this. When the mind becomes still, clarity arises. One begins to see what needs to change. In Buddhism, intention is everything. If the intention is pure, the outcome will be good. Every choice must be guided by wisdom and compassion. Life is created through action. Good intentions are not enough. One must take steps toward change. In Buddhism, right action means acting in ways that bring happiness and wisdom. It means being mindful of every decision. Failure is not a problem. It is part of the process. Every mistake is a lesson. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from attachment. If one clings to failure, suffering increases. But if one lets go, wisdom grows. Mistakes are simply steps toward success. One must appreciate the present moment. Every moment is a gift. Even difficult moments teach valuable lessons. By embracing gratitude, the heart remains light. Designing a fulfilling life starts with designing the mind. With the right mindset, anything is possible. Lesson 2. Embracing gravity and acceptance. Buddhism teaches that life is filled with both joy and sorrow. Happiness comes when one stops resisting reality. Gravity is a force that pulls everything down. Just like gravity, life has forces that pull people in certain directions. Some forces are unavoidable. One must accept them rather than fight against them. Pain is part of life. Loss is part of life. Nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. If one tries to hold on to things, suffering grows. If one accepts change, peace arises. Buddhism teaches that attachment leads to suffering. But when one lets go, freedom appears. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means seeing things clearly. If there is a storm, one cannot stop the rain. But one can take shelter. One can find peace even in difficulty. By accepting what cannot be changed, energy is freed to focus on what can be changed. In Buddhism, mindfulness helps with acceptance. When one is mindful, they see things as they are. They do not live in the past or future. They live in the present. The present moment is where life happens. When one truly embraces the present, suffering decreases. The mind often resists change. It wants control. But control is an illusion. No one controls everything. The only control one has is over their thoughts and actions. By focusing on what can be done, life becomes lighter. Acceptance brings inner strength. It allows one to move forward with wisdom and clarity. Lesson 3. Exploring thought experiments. Buddhism teaches that the mind creates reality. The way one thinks shapes the world they live in. If the mind is filled with fear, life feels frightening. If the mind is filled with peace, life feels peaceful. Thought experiments help expand the mind. They help see life from a new perspective. One powerful thought experiment in Buddhism is imagining impermanence. Imagine everything you have disappearing. This may seem scary, but it teaches an important lesson. Nothing is permanent. By remembering this, one stops clinging. One learns to appreciate the present moment fully. Another thought experiment is imagining life from the perspective of others. Imagine being in the shoes of a stranger. How does their life feel? What struggles do they face? This helps develop compassion. Buddhism teaches that wisdom and compassion must grow together. One without the other is incomplete. The mind can be a prison or gateway to freedom. By questioning thoughts, one can break free from suffering. Thought experiments help see beyond illusions. They help design a life based on wisdom, not on false beliefs. Lesson 4. Defining and setting goals. In Buddhism, a goal is not just about success. It is about meaning. A good goal brings peace. A bad goal brings suffering. The right goals lead to inner growth. The wrong goals lead to endless chasing. A goal must be realistic. If one aims for something impossible, they will suffer. But a goal should also be challenging. It should inspire growth. It should push one to develop discipline and patience. Action is needed. One cannot just dream. One must take steps every day. Small actions lead to big changes. Patience is key. In Buddhism, patience is a great virtue. With patience, everything is possible. Lesson 5. Prototyping and refining ideas. Buddhism teaches that nothing is perfect. Everything can be improved. This applies to life as well. One must constantly refine their actions, thoughts, and plans. Life is a process of growth. Prototyping means testing ideas before committing fully. If one wants to start something new, they can start small. They can see what works and what does not. This reduces fear. It allows for learning without pressure. Letting go is important. If an idea does not work, one must be willing to change. Clinging to failure brings suffering. Flexibility leads to success. By refining ideas, life becomes more balanced. Growth happens naturally. Small improvements lead to great transformation over time. Lesson 6. Enhancing decision-making skills. Every decision shapes life. Some decisions lead to happiness. Some lead to suffering. Buddhism teaches mindfulness in decision-making. When the mind is calm, choices become clear. One must pause before making a decision. In a rush, mistakes happen. Taking time leads to wisdom. Decisions should align with values. They should bring peace, not regret. Buddhism teaches the middle way. One should not act out of extreme emotions. Balance is key. A wise decision considers long-term effects, not just short-term pleasure. A good decision comes from awareness. One must observe their mind. Fear and desire can cloud judgment. By calming the mind, one sees clearly. By practicing mindful decisions, life becomes peaceful. Every choice leads closer to wisdom. The right path becomes clear. Life becomes a journey of meaning and joy. Designing the life you want is a process of self-discovery and growth. Each step requires mindfulness, patience, and wisdom. By applying these Buddhist teachings, one can create a life filled with peace and purpose. True happiness is not found in external things, but in the clarity of the mind and heart.